Hello? Hello, Earthlings. More are calling me out already. You're kind of right, though. How we doing, chat? How are we all doing on this fine day? Let me get my clipboard ready. Alright, I am in kind of a rush today, so I'm gonna do my best to be efficient and concise with it. The feedback. I'll grab a blank piece of paper. Let me start the first track already. Let's just like get into it. Yeehaw. Hi, Muda. Alright, let's go. It's a bit quiet. Very cool. So let me just write this. Okay. This is cool. I like. Oh, even something to feature. Who's doing the listening stuff? If you tried, I didn't realize they'd listen to like demos and shit. Bana. Like, this is clean, but I'm missing the wow factor. Because, like, I've heard the sound a bunch of times. There's nothing particularly, like, unfortunately, like, nothing particularly engaging about it. Blue style, maybe? Yeah, exactly. But it's not, like, I feel like this is a thing that I see a lot, and you may experience me ranting a bit again about, like, need to be unique, whatever, like, I think what happens is that artists are like, I wanna remake this, and that's cool. You should definitely try stuff, try remaking things, try other artists' styles. It's perfectly good. But then if you really want to make it work, you can't just copy someone else. You have to like either use it as an influence and then make something new by combining different things together, like combining your different influences together. Whereas this just kind of sounds like someone was like, heard like 3 Vloir tracks and they were like, okay, I'm going to do something that's like in the middle of that. Which is fine, but I'm missing that sauce. So either I would add like more contrasting elements with like stuff out of a different genre, or I would just double down on the vibe and go like, okay, if I did Vloir but 200% Vloir, what would it sound like? Because right now this just sounds like a... Like, I don't know how you would make this 200% Vloir, but if you tried that, what would it sound like? Because that could be cool. If you like really commit or like overcommit to the style, it becomes interesting in its own right. You see this in some... this is actually an idea that I got from like watching television shows, where there are some television shows that have cliches in them, and then there are other ones that are usually regarded as really good, and they also have these like cliches or these tropes, but because they overdo them so much, it becomes interesting again. You know, so they go 200%. In the same way that like you have this like overly meta type of writing. For those of y'all that have seen the Deadpool movies, you know exactly what I mean. 56 drop 1. Drop 1. Oh, the one from last week. Gotcha. Yeah, that's my advice. I realized I didn't like give you anything beyond like... Yeah, that's got to be my advice though. It's like commit to the bit. Go hard or take it, you know, add a different spin to it to make it interesting. Because like the production is fine. It's like very clean. All right. 56 drop one. So I'm assuming this is the one from last week. Sounds like some Cloud Kid shit. Not anymore.
Like time is slowing down right now. These thoughts of you are getting loud, so loud. I thought that it was perfect, but it wasn't fine. Oh, how did I deserve this? I did everything right. I'm still so lonely in a crowd without. Tell me where you gone, where you gone. Now that I need you, now that I need you. Tell me where you gone, where you gone. Now that I need you, now that I need you. Tell me where you gone. Tell me where you gone. Now that I need you.
Dope. We love a bit of progressive stuff. I don't know. This is, I can never tell if it's like progressive house or progressive thingies. Progressive thingies. Really losing my mind out here. Okay, for me, I think the build is a bit long. Kind of started at 30 seconds, and then it really just take you like 32 bars or whatever it ends up mathing out to get to where you're going. I'd say like try and cut it down a bit. Like this is fine. But yeah, I feel like, especially in the beginning of the build, I think you can just cut that a bit shorter and start building up energy faster. Because after a while, you're just kind of, especially because you're listening to the same sort of stuff melodically and instrumentally going on for all of this. Like it has the same vibe, it doesn't really change. A really good example of when you can do a really long build up and it pays off and it works really well is actually a lot of the stuff between I was going to say Isonok, but like Noct 2 specifically. If you listen to all of his tracks with long build-ups, what you'll notice is that the reason why you can do such a long build-up is because the build-up is always very, very different and has a lot of contrast with the rest of the track. So it's like, you know, we go from this like usually more atmospheric open vibe to suddenly we're like it like cuts inward. We start getting much more minimal, and there's like a big focus on like building this tension. So you go from this kind of open vibe, like it's still energy to it, but it, you know, it starts to get very, very tense, and it's drawn out, and there's all these crazy effects and stuff. And that's how you can get like a 30-second long thing. And then the drop comes and it's again, you know, like super, super high energy and kind of pays off the really long build-up. And I'm not saying that your drop is bad or doesn't like pay off, but it's just, I feel like expectation-wise, you've already gotten the audience warmed up to what you want from them, or what you're preparing them for much earlier. So you don't need to build up as long to it. And drop-wise, drop's good, melody's good, the chords, bass are all great. I'd just like to hear more things going on in the background. If you think of it like an image, you've got a foreground, right? And so like, imagine you're standing like in a mountain, like you, the person who's standing there, are in the foreground. And most people are going to look at that and they're just going to like look at the person who's in the picture. But in the background, you've got like this mountain, and there's like trees and flowers, and there's a sky, and there's some clouds, and maybe there's a sunset, right? There's all of these other things going on in the background that are also contributing a lot to the overall image. It's still a picture of like you or a picture of someone, but when you remove it from the context, it changes how the image looks. And that's all to say, like, long wind up to say, like, I would like to see you fill out the background with more details, more like small stuff. The other day I was watching the stem breakdown from Porter Robinson on his new album Smile, and it's a very different vibe. But the more you start really paying attention, and as he goes through in some of these breakdowns, it's like there's actually so many small details going on in the background of these tracks that take them from being like nice, like obviously all of the, you know, guitar stuff, all of his vocals are all amazing, but there's so much being elevated that makes, like, because of all of these tiny little melodies and moments going on in the background, all of these little atmospheres and extra layers that make the tracks go from being good songs to being like how do you make something that sounds this good? Like, there's nothing that sounds quite like that, and it's because of all of these details. And it's funny because in this album, he's trying to get away from all of the Nurture stuff, but if you turned up all of the background layers, it does sound a lot like Nurture. Just like his production style, but, you know, the focus is still on all of these new things he's trying, the, like, nostalgia and, like, 2000s pop-punk stuff. But yeah, I would try adding more things in the background. Like, man, I really could have just said that. I didn't need to go on the long build up. Hopefully the long rant is useful. I cry. Orizi, if you're in chat, maybe send me this again, and I'll swing back around to it. Yeah. Mura ID time. Road to Sanctuary release. Let's go. The next in the series. Ooh. I think that might be the best mixed track you've ever sent me. Ooh. I mean, you say trash melody. It's not a trash melody. It's just not as like flagrant as your normal ones. I gotta say, like, definitely the cleanest production. I think for me the most interesting part was this though. I feel like it's nice to have a little bit more of like a chill contrast to the Future Bounce stuff, and it's not something you actually hear that often. Usually it's more of like the, we're going to add big super saw chords and no drums, but this is cool. I would lean more into this, and I think this is a good start, but it feels kind of bland. Like it's chords and this vocal and the guitar thing, which I can't lie, I'm a bit tired of. Like, it's effective to a certain degree, but I've heard it in so many tracks that it's lost all of its juice for me. Like, I find that it's just not enough on its own. It can make for a nice supporting element if you need some rhythm, but if it's the only thing going on with some chords, it feels really underwhelming. By the way, Orezi, you need to copy the link. You can't just copy the URL. You have to actually like share a link to the private thing, or else it's just gonna constantly give me this. So make sure you're actually sharing like a proper link. Who sent me the same thing twice? Or maybe I just opened the file twice. I swear I was gonna say something. Yeah. I would be curious if you can do more of this vibe, like this style across the whole track, like across both breaks. Because I feel like it could end up being really, really cool then. I mean, Tacoman, you can also just go back and watch my rant. It's almost 2:30, goddamn. Isn't it actually your first time here? Like, in stream? I mean, to be fair, it is like hella early. Surprised. Follow you.
Bringing it back to the start, even though you broke my heart. I think I'm ready again. Can't get you out of my head. Even though you play these games, I really don't know why I stay. I just can't stand what you do. Wish I could get over you. If you love me, say my name. No more time for pretend. If you love me, say my name. I'll follow you till the end.
Okay, Rills. Rills from like 2017 though. Damn, good luck in your exams. No fun at all. Yeah. I feel you though. I also have like a few weeks left of my uni. But then I'm done. Then I am over. Okay. Overall, I appreciate the vibes. I really like this type of stuff. Reminds me of the good old days. I don't know why this is particularly bothering me, but I just don't like this vocal at all. And you have such like a deep reese with all of this like little texture stuff going on. but I just can't get over how much I dislike the vocal, which is not normal. Usually I can move on if I don't like the vocal, but for some reason I think it's bugging me. Like it's so da na na, like it's just the same thing for the entire time. Like she doesn't change her rhythm, she barely changes notes.
I think I'm ready again. Can't get you out of my head, even though you play these games.
Like, I don't know, she just never changes her tonality in any way. It just sounds like she's saying the same word. Like, I don't know how to explain it in a way that's effective. It's bugging me. So what I would do is, like, you don't even need to get rid of the vocal. It's just like you have to chop it up or do something weird and creative with it to make it feel like it's sitting properly in the track, in my opinion. Because right now it just feels awkward. Like, I would rather you delete the vocal.
I really don't know why I stay. I just can't stand what you
Yeah, it's also a bit too dry. So it's sticking out a lot. The lead here is good. It just feels maybe a bit too digital. In the sense that I'm just missing some texture in the lead. Because it's mix-wise, it's okay. It's definitely got a bit of that like future bounce. We love adding too much high end thing to it, but that can work. You can have really good tracks that have a lot of high end, but I'm missing that depth in the mid range. And I don't mean loudness, I do mean depth. It's missing some layers with real like movement in there. I love the sound. I would also like to hear you change the note lengths a bit across the track, because I can tell that you've just copy pasted this, and I would like it to have a little bit more minute changes in it. That way every note feels a bit unique. Like here, I feel like some of these could be much tighter. Like you could have much shorter notes and it'll feel bouncier. Like what if it was da 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 to like da 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 da? That could be like much grippier. Grippier? That sounds hella suspicious. Moving on. Hopefully that helps. Is this now? Let's take a listen. Oh, what is this reminding me of? Okay. Damn, I haven't used Keyzone in a while. Old school. What the fuck? da, bum, bum. Okay. Okay, very cool. I can actually get rid of that. I'll start off with like a small note. You have this white noise reverse somewhere in here. Yeah. This thing is just too loud. It's just too loud. And it's like, sometimes it's like, can be tastefully too loud, but in this case it's just like, it's so short that when it's just like, whoa, what the fuck was that? So just take it down to a more appropriate volume. I'm kind of surprised because I think overall the break is fine. Like, it's got good vibes. I would try changing out this clap for something more interesting because, yeah, it just sounds very... It sounds like one of the stock FL claps, which they're like decent enough samples, but I feel like you can definitely find something more that tells more story, like gives much more of like a setting or a vibe, because right now this just sounds very sterile, the clap specifically. Yeah, once we get to the drop, like, this is all good. Like, I'm speaking specifically about the mix here and the like tonal profile. It's fine here. But then we get to the drop and it feels like the mix just gets really weird. Like, I'm not really feeling this. I'm just hearing that there's a melody and I'm not really feeling the power of it. And I was a bit confused, so I thought maybe it's like using too much OTT, which it may be. And then this lead, you swap to this lead. I think probably if you go back, you'll even see it in my face that I was like surprised, because I was like, why is this lead now feel so much louder and feel so much more impactful? Who is texting me? It just feels much more impactful, and I think it's because of the mids. Like, I think this just has, like, you're just missing all of the mids. And I don't know how long you've been producing for, but it feels like you might be newer to this, and so this is definitely something that like newer producers will fall into the trap of, which is the like, oh, I need more, like, I want it to be better and cleaner and like more, and so you just keep boosting the high end and taking out things that you probably shouldn't. So like right now it feels like it's missing sub. Like, I'm definitely missing a bit of that impact in the very low end. If I mess around with the EQ on this, so basically all I did there was boost around 1000 hertz, 2500. I took down a little bit around 5k, boosted at 10k, and then just like brought up the sub around 50 hertz a bit, and already you start to hear like if I turn it on and off. So this is gonna be on. Before it was also louder, but like I think you get the idea that it just feels like it's more balanced and everything is present. So I would just work around trying to add more mids overall and doing things. Yeah, I'm producing for 3 months. Damn, for 3 months, that's a really good start. And if you've been producing for 3 months, don't worry too much about your mix. But it's something that'll just like keep an eye out of adding too much high end and not adding enough mid range, because it can happen. It can happen a lot where you're like, I need to make it better, and so you just keep adding high end, thinking that it's gonna be like, and when you're mixing it, it sounds clear. You're like, oh yeah, it's like more. I feel the clarity, but it doesn't actually get better. Echoes updated. Ooh, let's go.
In the silence of the night, I close my eyes. I drift away to a time where we were young and free. The memories we make can never be replaced, but they're slipping through my fingers like sand on the shore. Ooh. We used to laugh and run, chasing dreams in the sun. But now those days are gone, just echoes in my mind. I try to hold on tight, but they slip away like kites. Lost in the vast expanse of time, a love feel left behind. And I'm swimming in these fading echoes, lost in the whispers of what used to be. I hold them in my heart forever, but in reality, they're slipping away from me.
Wow.
They're slipping away from me. They're slipping away from me. They're slipping away from me. They're slipping away from me.
Whoa. Okay.
They're slipping away from me.
Tragedy when it's cut off midway. Okay. Cool. Break, obviously, it sounds beautiful.
But they're slipping through my dreams in the sun.
Here, I feel like, and this is a little bit of just my taste, but I think it could work really well here. I would add some extra little Foleys and stuff. Let me just open FL so I can give you like an example. These are like examples from like the sample pack I'm working on. It's like more of these type of like little organic percussions of like, there's like a pre-shifted one. Like these type of ones with a little bit of like suck and like a little bit of a reverse to them. Yeah, like this. Like ignore the actual percussion itself, but there's like little bits of like reverse or movement to go into your snare.
But now the days are gone.
And also some like stretched out little percussions could be cool, just to give it a bit more movement. And add some extra dimension, because I feel like you just have more room to do more stuff, And I think you kind of do want to keep the vibe simpler, so going a little more deep with the drums versus deep with the instrumental, I think is a good idea. Drop wise, I feel like it needs more clarity overall. It may just be because of like the last track having a lot of high end, but I feel like this just does need more top end, and it sounds better with more top end. Like that's literally just me boosting 10k, just getting that clarity in there. I was gonna say, oh yeah, it also sounds a bit over compressed. Yeah, it sounds like it's got a little bit too much multi-band on it, but it may just be the overall tonal profile that just sounds a bit unbalanced, and that's why it sounds over-compressed. But I would look to see if maybe you've got a little too much compression going on the sounds as you've worked on it, and if maybe it'll sound a bit more relaxed if you strip it back a bit. Okay, this... Gotcha. Yeah, just something to think about. Overall, fantastic. Very fantastic. Doggo. ID 2024 512. Huh, that's a while ago. Nice. Ooh. Oh my god, what? Oh, why is that so good? Okay, Brooks. Okay, I'm genuinely surprised. That's, man, it sounds, like, it does sound like you've gotten a lot of, Brooks vibes in here, but it also doesn't sound like a Brooks knockoff. It does sound like your own thing. I was genuinely taking it back, like, this feels very, like, the leads here are really powerful. The this break is also really nice. Like the chords and like the way the bass is hitting. Like I genuinely like that you've left the sub out of this. I think in the drop though, the bass definitely needs a bit of love. And I don't think it needs to be crazy in front, because I think it's part of the strength of this track that the lead is really in here. But yeah, here you can kind of tell like something with the bass is not quite produced optimally. So I feel like the sub is not coming from a dedicated sub. It feels like it's coming from one of the patches, and it's not hitting like in a compressed way. It's not fat. It's just kind of like there. So I would make sure that you're being careful, or I guess deliberate, with cutting things that shouldn't have sub in them. Cut the sub out and make sure that you have like a proper sub bass in there to fill up that lower end, so that the sub comes through really strong. Here I would have a bass in here, and I would not do the same bass as in the drop. I would take a different type of bass, so some kind of Reese bass. Yeah, you could look through like some of the Sick-Rate Essentials packs if you have them for some presets. Or if not, you can just look and find some cool production tutorials that will teach you how to make some interesting basses, and then, you know, get it so that it has a little bit more of a plucky sound to follow along with what you have going on here. Because it's just missing the power. The emotion is there, it's just missing the power. And then you can do this triplet as well here. Like you do that da na 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 da na, and then just that's like a very Mickey thing to do. Mickey loves to do that. I'm pretty sure he's done it on a couple of Sanctuary releases as well. There's that da na 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 da na da da. Like it just makes for a pretty nice what's the word? Transition. Yeah. Also here, there's like a transition where you just don't do anything. Something needs to go there. I would make like a little atmosphere that has some sort of cool automation on it. You know, I like automating distortion in combination with one or two other parameters. So you take the sound and you just send it into a bunch of distortion and maybe a reverb. And that typically changes the character of the sound enough that it gives a really cool feeling. Just for a moment, without you then having to mix this really distorted sound to fit optimally in a sustained manner. Anyway, I think that's it. Yeah, mix wise, I think you definitely could live with also a bit more high end. But it's less so that your track doesn't have high end, and more so that I think your low end needs to be produced better. I think when your low end is cleaner and I think more deliberately worked on, it'll sound really, really good. And I say this as somebody who also struggles with low end. Sometimes it's really difficult. I think it's underappreciated just how skillful you need to be to get your low end really tight in an order. It's crazy. Les Rogues from Dirty Octopus. Oh my god. Les Rogues. Why do you only ever send 30-second snippets? I don't get it. Or like 10-second snippets. I had to take a listen. Egyptian. I'm gonna have a really specific piece of feedback for this because it feels like you're saturating these things many times, like you're distorting these things many times and then EQing them a lot afterwards. What I would recommend is that you EQ a little bit more before your distortion, because these sound like I can just hear these muddy frequencies creating more harmonics. It's mostly in the stab, like it just sounds a bit yucky. Like the sound is cool, but mix wise it just has a bit too much too much mud in it. So I'd do some more EQing before. You don't want to like completely get rid of stuff, because when you completely get rid of frequencies, the distortion, it will change the character of the distortion a lot. You do want to keep some of it in there, but it does feel a bit like you just need to remove some of that like lower end, like 300 400 hertz, dip it a bit before it goes into the saturation. Hi, I don't have anything to send us right now, so here's this weird thing I made. Bet. I would save this cool metally thing as a sample and then use it later, because that's a really cool vibe. Yeah, it has some energy to it. But the rest is like, I know you could do better than that. It's good though. Wakus remix. Oh. Should I release this? If it gets good reviews, I'll give it to you next Friday. Is it time for Wakus release? Let's go. We're starting off strong. Wow, the percussion is so good. Bro was cooking. Oh. Bro, what? That's so cool. Did we change key? Banger. Yes.
Wake up! Wake up! Get up out of bed! Alright, it's time to win the day! So get up and go to the gym!
Oh my god. Perfect ending as well. Damn, this is fire. This is fire. I really want you to release this. I have a few notes though. I feel like you could make a couple of tweaks to make it a bit better. For me, really, I just want to hear the sub more. That's definitely me adding a lot, but that was 5 decibels extra sub. And it starts to make the bottom end just feel juicy. I think even more important than just turning it up is just making sure it's compressed enough. Although it may be. It may just be a volume issue. I can't tell for sure just from listening to the master. Other than that, like, this is cool. The percussion is so... I love how nicely automated it is with all this panning and texture to it. It's great. It sounds a bit like Subarctic. I don't know why it reminds me of Subarctic, but something about the tone of the sounds just like... I'll send it to him when you release it, because I feel like he'll just dig this vibe. It does change like key, or it changes note, definitely. It's one of my favorite key changes I've heard in a while. Because I didn't even realize, I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then afterwards I was like, wait a minute. The other note I'll say is that when you get here, this like Apple notification sound gets a little too much. I would put it in half as many times, because it just starts to go from like a cool Foley to being a little annoying. I like what it does though. It could be cool as well to have it every 4 repetitions or something play like an octave higher or on a different note, like a 5th or a 7th of where it is, up from where it is, or down maybe. Could be nice, but other than that, everything's great. So yeah, a little more sub, and I would take the notification sound down just not quite as often. Ending's great. Has very much like Daria Core meme ending vibes. Dig it. This is also so cool. Fucking fantastic. We love to see it. Please release. Please release. Alright. Last one. Sealogy collab. Okay. I think this is the last thing, because as far as I know, I'm out of submissions, which is kind of good timing. Let's see. Okay, Arnosh, I'll send me the other ones next week, because I try to avoid doing multiples for people. I do like when I can do it, but I have an appointment after this that I do gotta get to, so I'll go through this quickly, then we'll move on. We already heard one from this guy. Lol. I'm literally lying to your face. Okay, let me just finish this. This is cool. I think you should maybe rework the melody a bit though. The rhythm feels a bit iffy. Feels a bit less strong. Yeah, something about this is not quite hitting. So I would play around with the melody a bit more. Alright, Arnosh, let's go. Lullaby of Broken Compass. Interesting. I see why you called it that though. Has adventurer vibes. Okay. I dig that flute. This is a great arrangement, like, of instruments. It's super dope. Nice variation. I just can't take this picture seriously at all. The good old fade out. Great. I really love this vibe. We don't get this much type of stuff here, and I really love listening to it. It's really cool. I do hope you continue to do this type of style. I mean, obviously do whatever you want, but like, it's very interesting. I will say mostly my commentary is not at all on the way it's in the instrumentation or anything, because it sounds fantastic. Mostly it's just like the kick. We have a nice kick here, but it feels like it's not quite coming out enough. So I would say either some of the other elements need a little more sidechain, and I really do mean like just a bit more sidechain so that the kick really comes through, or maybe you just turn up the kick a bit. Because especially for these soft kicks, sometimes you feel them when they're missing, but you don't feel them when you're there. So you do want to feel this kick a little bit more when it's there, because I think it will contribute to getting it a little bit more energetic. And I really do just mean like a bit more, like a couple dB more, and dB more, and I think it'll be good. You could maybe turn up the bass drum as well. Bass guitar. And more so just like let the low end, like the sub of it, come out a bit more. Because it feels like it's a bit too EQ'd too much towards the mid. Another thing that will help with this, it would be panning your instruments. Right now, everything is a bit too much in the middle. And I think this is actually much bigger than the other two pieces of advice. Everything right now is very much stacked on top of each other in the middle. You could stereo widen these, but I think what would be more practical is actually panning them. So this is a technique you'll hear a lot more in this style of music. With EDM, it tends to be... doesn't tend to sound as good. Or as universally good. But here, I would take the lead guitar, I would take it a bit to the right. The flute thing here. Just let it hang out somewhere on the left ear. Like, just space out the instruments much more. You could leave the chords maybe in the middle. But it will make the mix way more open and interesting sounding. And it'll also make it easier on you when you're mixing to pick out or to not have to take out as much from each of the elements. It'll also mean that your bass and kick, which should definitely stay in the middle, will come through a lot more. If you have all the other elements panned as well, it means that when this type of synth comes in, if you want to keep it in the middle and feel like it's taking the lead role, it'll be really easy overall. Got inspired by Kashmir's album Harmonica Andromeda. Damn. I haven't listened to any Kashmir really over the last couple of years. I have no idea what he's been doing. But if this is what inspired you, I'm curious, to say the least. Alright. Hopefully that's helpful. Something of my mumbo jumbo. I feel like I was a bit overly ranty today, but my brain is like, one, it's just extremely hot in my room. I have no air conditioning, and it's been like 30 plus degrees for the last 2 weeks. So I'm cooking in here all of the time, which does not do good for thinking thoughts. But we survive. And also I'm just kind of tired. Had a long week. Thanks for the feedback. I am your welcome. I hope it's helpful. Yeah, and hopefully I'll see you guys again next week. Next weekend. Looking forward to it. Hopefully it won't be like hopefully I won't be literally cooking in my skin. Do I have any announcements? No, I never have any announcements right now. Soon though. If you guys have been sending stuff to the Sanctuary email, I haven't checked it in a minute. I've just been really busy, but I will get around to it this week. And respond to all of you guys with feedback and stuff. The plan is for us to come back sometime in the middle of September. We already kind of have a little bit of a schedule going. So, there's definitely some waiting if you all are sending us new tracks. But, yeah. Sanctuary won't remain like my live stream channel forever. Welcome back, Mura. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna bounce. And I'll see you guys again next weekend. Work hard on your IDs. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, bye.